Hi everybody, welcome to the channel. This time I want to talk about, as the title says, anime figures versus statue figures. And as someone that's collected anime figures and someone that's collected statue figures, this channel, in the beginning, I started collecting anime figures and I wanted to make anime videos. And yeah, anime videos, an anime channel. So I collected them, videoed them. Some animes that I did buy wasn't on the channel because I bought them before I actually made the YouTube account. Anyway, I wanted to compare the both. So as someone that's bought statues and bought anime figures, first I bought anime figures and then I decided to switch. Then I wanted to buy statues, which I found was a lot of mine. And I collected a lot of those, and then on the channel, this channel of course, I add anime videos and I add statue videos. And to me, after a while, I thought the algorithm doesn't know it's being pulled this way and that way. It's being pulled. Do my audience want anime figures being shown, or do my audience want statues? Now, mind you, the statues are very big, like Prime One Studio statues, XM statues, XM Studios, yeah, and Sideshow. You probably have heard some of those if you're a statue collector. But I wanted to get into this, which balances each other out. So figures, I do right now, I do have another channel. I decided that it's not the same. I mean, I want a channel for a certain topic. So this channel now will be just all statue. I'm just trying to refurbish it. And I do have a new channel, which is all anime figures. So I have gotten some anime figures come in, and mostly is Azure Lane stuff. It's, if you check it out, if you're curious about it, you can check out the Azure Lane. There's an Azure Lane show, and actually Azure Lane merchandise. The Azure Lane game, a mobile game that I actually play too. But I have mostly Azure Lane stuff, which is very cool. Due to money and that, I have not collected any Azure Lane in quite a while. But I like Azure Lane. So yeah, they're pretty cool. I mean, I do like it. So figures. Do you want to collect figures? Do you want to collect statues? I find in my years of collecting that statues and figures were a lot cheaper than the statues are. You can get statues, well, statues would cost like a lot of money. They were fairly cheap, and now they're like $300, $600, $1,000, even $1,000 over that, some of them. And then you got to pay shipping on top of that. Throats a little dry. And yeah, I collected figures, and they're fairly cheap to be sent over. I get all my figures imported from Japan, because there are bootleg figures you can get out there, and I experienced that myself. And it's no, I don't. Yeah, never again. So found a site, two sites which I use, which is the Ami site and Source Japan. Those are the only two sites that I actually use for my anime figures. They were fairly cheap, and then time went by, I guess, and now there was a time when I said that, geez, these figures are almost expensive as like one of the statues that I used to get. I was like, man, what happened? And it's like, now they're still expensive, but it's an expensive hobby. I mean, if you like it, sure. Collect what you like, right? That's what they say. Yeah, price-wise, statues are a lot bigger and take up more room. Figures do not take up more room. Like, for example, have you seen some of my videos? Even if you're new here, if you take a look at my videos, I've got a shelf, big heavy-duty shelves for statues because statues weigh a lot and they're big and they take up a lot of room. Anime figures, on the other end, does not take up a lot of room, depending on what you get. Some anime figures, they've got a big base and a wide, they could have things going around them and it takes up a lot of space. But normally, they don't take up a lot of space. It's just a small figure like that, just standing up. Depending on the pose. Some of the poses are very cool. I really like my Azure Lane ones. They're awesome. But yeah, space is another thing. If you don't have the space for it, then yeah. Some people, they don't have the space. They got a whole bunch of statues and there's no space. And so you end up selling it. And it's like, I have a big variety, a wide range of black cat statues, which I totally love. And I will never ever sell them. If I need the money, no, I don't want to sell my black cat collection. Yeah, that's another thing. Once they make for example, let's just take one of my black cat statues, for example. They make that, and there's only so many that they'll make, and then they won't make any more, and then it's pretty good because then you'll have there's only 500 of like Harley Quinn made in the world, and I have number like 476, like that. I guess then it will go the same for anime figures too. They only make so much. Well, depending on how supply and demand. But I do know 100% for sure that when they do statues, there's only like a limit on what they do. Unless sometimes they might bring some more back, but it doesn't happen very often. And another thing, if you want something like you can get custom made statues, which they've done a custom made black cat, and I have bought one, sure. I think I've got two, and I got another one on the way. And I do also have a Poison Ivy, Batman Poison Ivy, custom made on the way also. But I do have I have a Poison Ivy already. She's really large. She's in one of my videos, but she's very large. But and for anime figures, I do have a case. I got a glass case. That's another thing. You can make sure you keep them clean. I'm bad for that too. I mean, I've just cleaned three of my statues, my Tinkerbell down there, and my my Spider-Man Mary Jane. I cleaned that one. And Red Riding Hood. Yeah, I didn't realize about the dust that accumulates over time. The dust on my shelf was terrible. And I did clean my figures, and I seen the dust, and it's like, I better clean those. But there was more dust on it than I realized. It's like, oh my goodness, I can't believe I let it go that far. But I do have dust. There's not too much dust on my Poison Ivy. I checked the other day, but oops, sorry, I bumped that there. I do have another shelf that needs to be cleaning, and I need to clean my other black cat statues because they're really dusty. Yeah, and another thing, if you got DTOF, a glass case, I do have one that I really bought. Apparently, they're not making them like that anymore. They are making them, but not like that. It's a DTOF. It's got glass shelves. Obviously, I can't put statues in there, or the glass breaks. I've seen a devastation video on that before. It's not good. Trust me. But I do have a glass case. They keep the dust out longer than they would if you put them on an open shelf. Like my Azure Lane ones are on an open shelf. I should see if they're, because it's a new shelf, so it hasn't been there that long. But I still think I need to clean off dust off my figures. Keep them clean, keep them in the sunlight, that type of thing. Yeah, and price, price for the figures is, and for figures and statues, all like, keep your statues out of sunlight, keep your figures out of sunlight, and you should do pretty good. So that's just my gist of everything. The ups and downs of collecting. Make sure you got room for your figures or statues, whichever way you want to go. Like I said, I wanted to take this video and make it new again, and I wanted to only do statues in it. I know I got anime figures in it, so I'm just gonna keep those videos in there because people still watch it. But from now on, it'll just be all statues and statue talk and that. And my other YouTube video will be anime figures and new ones. I do have a new anime figure that's coming in. That's come in. I haven't even opened it yet. And I've got some that's on the way. Well, no, they're not on the way. They're all paid for. They're just waiting in the Japan warehouse. Or maybe they haven't been made yet, but I pre-ordered a bunch of those like ages ago and even last year. They're still not available yet. I will, when they decide to send them to me, I'll do a review, of course, and put them on my channel. But the anime channel, of course. Unless you're a statue collector and you can watch this one, which is cool. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I really have. If there's anything you think that I left out, let me know, would you? And we can go through everything like that. Okay? Okay, I'll see you later. Take care, everybody. See you now.